I think I might switch this sweater and wear like a heavier sweater. The airport's always freezing and I honestly don't have any space in my suitcase. I wanted to take this little cardigan with me, but I don't have no more space in my suitcase. So I think I'm just gonna switch to the black hoodie and yeah, and then we'll be ready to skedaddle. Bye y'all. See you later. Bye friend.
Narco, got dope like Pablo, cut throat like Pablo, shot trees with the Draco, on enough.
I look cute or what? Let's talk about the epidemic of this here crack pipe. Okay, so I just got back from Texas. Well, just got back. I got back, I want to say 5 days ago, and I loved it. Like, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I was only there for like 6 days, so 5 nights, 6 days, and it wasn't enough time. Like, I definitely recommend if you're trying to see all of Texas, go for like 2 weeks. It is a massive state. It is huge. I mean, you can see on the map that it's big. You can see on the map that it's big, but I did not realize how big Texas actually is. Probably like the biggest state that I've ever been to. So I definitely recommend if you really want to see everything in a week, you need like 2 weeks. Caught my flight from Montreal to Texas. I was staying with family in McAllen. Instead of flying into McAllen because it's so expensive, I ended up flying into Austin. So I went from Montreal to Dallas and then Dallas to Austin. My family came to get me in Austin and we ended up spending a couple nights in Austin. So I was able to kind of like see Austin, go around, go out to eat and all of that stuff. I feel like Austin has like a very hipster vibe about it. Like people are out in their like Lululemon and they're walking their little dogs and stuff like that. All the artwork on the walls, there was a lot of murals, which is something I wasn't expecting to see. Montreal is a place where you have like a lot of murals kind of like everywhere, but I wasn't expecting to see that in Texas for some reason. It's just not the vibe I've always like gotten from Texas. But there was a lot of like really cute art like all over the place. We kind of walked around. We went out for breakfast at this really cute spot. I'm gonna look up the name because I don't remember the name, but I'll look up the name and put it on the screen. Had breakfast and then just kind of like walked around, just kind of like looking at the city. We ended up going to the ice cream museum. So this was one of the first things that I actually did in Texas. Something I've always seen online. I know that New York has one and I think maybe LA has one. I know another place has one, but I know it's New York, Texas for sure. It was a lot funner than I thought it was gonna be. I wish I had gotten more pictures, but I was just having like so much fun, like just being like a big ass kid, that I didn't really get as many pictures as I wanted to. I did make sure to record because I did want to like show you guys. I know I was gonna be making this video and I wanted to show you guys sort of like what we did at the ice cream museum and what it kind of looked like on the inside. At the end of the ice cream museum, they actually have an adult bar. I didn't like the cherry cider so much. I had the martini. The martini was very good. I enjoyed the martini. I really enjoyed the shots. I wish the shots came as like a drink, but maybe it's just a little bit too strong because the shots had a really nice sweet taste to it. They went down really, really easy. That was super dope. The ice cream museum was something I really enjoyed. I thought it was really fun. After that, we went to, oh my God, this is gonna sound so funny. But my cousin kept telling me like, we need to go to the HEB. We need to go to the HEB. And I was like, HEB? And I was like, okay, what is it? You know what I'm saying? I never heard of HEB in my life. I was like, what is this? She's like, it's a grocery store. I was like, sis, you being for real right now? I was like, nah. This is not just any type of grocery store, right? It's not just any type of grocery store. I had to give it a chance because I was like, all right, you know, I like going to Costco. I like to walk around. When I tell you, I've never seen a grocery store that I wanted to live in. Like if there was a zombie apocalypse, the first thing I would do is catch a flight, go to Texas, and run to the HEB. Because let me tell you, HEB has everything. They had a whole liquor store in there. I've never seen so much wine in my life. They had chefs that were cooking fresh sushi on the spot. And don't get me wrong, we have sushi that we sell in our grocery stores, but people are not cooking it fresh on the spot. Them guys were in. We had cheese. They had like different varieties of millions and millions of things, and it was just, there was so much. There was just so much stuff, and not only that, but it was a nice place. Like they had barbecue. And the barbecue restaurant was serving alcohol. Mind you, we're still in a grocery store. That night, everybody was like really, really tired. So after like walking around all day, doing the ice cream museum, and then going to the HB, we kind of just like went to bed. We thought about going out, but we were just like, whatever, like it's not a big deal. It was my first day there. So we were just like, well, we have time, right? So that night we slept basically, and then the next morning we were leaving because we were staying in an Airbnb in Austin. So the next morning we were leaving and we were heading to San Antonio. I was editing the videos and I realized I kind of messed up just a little. I forgot to mention two places that we went to. So one of them was a cavern. We went to the Natural Bridge Caverns, and I'm gonna insert all the clips. It was amazing. I've been to caverns before, like when I was in Barbados and stuff like that, but I've never been in a cavern this size. The tour guide was great. She gave us like so much detail, and she gave us all the history of the cavern and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to insert all the clips. This was a lot of fun. It was not too expensive, and I definitely recommend it if you're in Texas and you're just looking for something a little bit adventurous. It was a little spooky, you know, if you don't like tight spaces. There are a few places that get a little bit tight, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely recommend it. Another thing that we did that I completely forgot to mention. I should have made a list, honestly. I don't know why I didn't make a list, but I was kind of in a rush that day and my head was all over the place. But we went to a little town called Green, and we did wine tasting there. It was a lot of fun, really cute. I love doing like a little wine tasting, last time we were in Barbados, we did like a rum tasting, so that was fun. So this time we did rum tasting in Green. I'm sure there are other places. I know that we looked it up, and there were many places that offered wine tasting. We did it in Green. It was good. Definitely recommend that too. I don't know how I forgot to put that in the clip, but I'm putting it in now. I just noticed as I was editing, and I'm gonna insert all the clips so that you can see what we did. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to editing the video. There are a lot of like little like thrift shops. I got to try on like some cowboy boots. They had really cute thrift shops out there. They had this one shop I walked into, and I don't know why. I mean, I know it's Texas. I know there's cowboys and stuff like that, but I did not realize that y'all have full stores of just boots. We walked into the store and it was just cowboy boots. These cowboy boots were $399. But then I decided that most likely I'm gonna go back to Texas, and I really want to get because my uncle was basically telling me like it's better to get like custom boots. We didn't have the time to do the custom boots. Like I said, I was only there for 6 days, so we didn't have the time to do the custom boots. But I don't think it's gonna be my last time in Texas, so I think most likely the next time that I go, that's gonna be one of the first things I do is like go to get the custom boots done. I did buy one of the little country shirts, and I love it. It's like a little country denim shirt, and I can't wait to style it because I feel like I'll be able to style that really well over like spring, summer. They had like bells, hats, you know, like just all kinds of different like country accessories and stuff like that. And that's when it really hit me. I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers really like cowboys. This is where the cowboys are at. When I travel, I tend to get immersed in kind of like the culture of wherever I'm at. Like I want to learn about the culture of where I'm going to. I think it's more fun that way than just going to a place and then acting like you're nowhere new. Like everywhere is so different. People are so different. Food is so different. And like I really like to immerse myself into the culture of wherever I'm going. And for Texas, I knew that it was like cowboy culture, so seeing a store like that was like on my list. On our way to San Antonio, we stopped at a barbecue spot. It is called Salt Lake Barbecue, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, I will fix it on the screen. And let me tell you something. I didn't even get no pictures of the food or videos of the food because listen, when that food came, all I could think was, what have I done in my past life to deserve such greatness? Barbecue will never be the same. I don't even know if I could have barbecue outside of Texas because it was literally beans, sausage, pork. They had ribs in that motherfucker, okay? They had beef ribs, they had pork ribs, right? And then obviously they had like a little coleslaw. Met some nice guys. They own like a beer company. They gave us some beer. I sat there and I ate in silence. The food was so damn good. Barbecue will never be the same for me. And I'm very sad about that because I don't know when I'm going back to Texas, but it's gonna have to be soon. And I think all the flavor in their barbecue really comes from the way that they barbecue it. I'm gonna miss that barbecue. I really am. And if anybody from Texas is watching this right now, I will open a P.O. box just for you to send me some. And good barbecue. Anyway, after barbecue, we continued our drive. Essentially what we were doing is we were driving from Austin back to McAllen, which is where my family lives. We ended up in San Antonio. If I were to move to Texas, San Antonio would be where I would live. I don't know what it was. We weren't in San Antonio for very long, but I don't know what it was. But when I was in San Antonio, I got like a vibe. Like, yeah, this is my place. We walked around San Antonio and obviously they have like some monuments out there that we did get to see. We went to the river walk. It's just so beautiful. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. We do have a canal in Montreal, but it does not compare to this river walk. When we entered the river walk, I felt like we were literally in a different place. Like I felt like we were somewhere like Italy or Venice or something, because the way that the streets were so narrow and the buildings were like going up on the side. They looked like sort of like condo buildings or apartment buildings going up on the side, but they had like these balconies that peeked out so you could kind of look over the river walk, and there was just water flowing down this river walk, boats with people flowing down the river walk, and all along the sides you had restaurants, different types of restaurants, different types of outdoor seating. Some of the restaurants had like people singing. Some of the restaurants had like, what do you call those guys? Those guys that sing, the traditional Mexican guys, and were singing, they were playing their guitar and they were singing, and I felt like I was transported to a different place. Like I felt like, am I still in Texas? The whole time I was just like, yeah, I could see myself like living here, like right on top of the Riverwalk, and just like every night, just like sitting on the balcony and just like with a cup of coffee or like a cup of tea or a glass of wine and just like listening to the music. And I was just like completely in awe at the Riverwalk, completely in awe at San Antonio. I didn't get to spend as much time as I would have liked to there, but again, Texas is huge. We were on like a time crunch, and you know, it's just massive. And honestly, I should have took off 2 weeks to do the whole of Texas. So when we left San Antonio, and then we started the drive to McAllen. From San Antonio to McAllen, it was 3.5 hours, close to 4 hours. So it was a pretty long drive. The next day, we also went to Mexico. I knew Mexico was close to Texas. I knew that. But we literally walked over the border. There's a specific area for you to walk through, for people to walk through in Texas, walk through and go to Mexico. So we went to Mexico. And there is a toll that you have to pay, but I don't think it's like very much. It's not very much. I think it's like under $1 or about $1. And when you get to Mexico, the vibes completely change. Let me tell you, you could tell you're in Mexico. The music is blaring, the people are walking around, there's colors everywhere. First thing we did, we went right into this one little bar that was serving margaritas. We got ourselves a little mango margarita to go. And we stopped at a couple shops and we purchased a bunch of stuff. and we kind of just walked around. I wish I would have been able to spend more time in Mexico too, like maybe like the day or something like that, but we had other plans with the rest of the day. We had a wedding to go to, so it wasn't like we could stay there forever, so we just stayed for a couple hours and then we walked back right over to the border. But it was still amazing to me. Just the fact that you could walk from Texas to Mexico was amazing to me. And obviously there are people who are coming from Mexico, coming into Texas, buying stuff and then bringing it back to Mexico to either sell or like just for themselves. So it was just an interesting thing to see in terms of like culture, and what is happening between that border and stuff like that. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing the fact that you were able to just walk into a whole different place with a whole different vibe. We ended up going back to the house. We had like an hour and a half to get dressed. So when I said I got dressed quick, I got dressed quick. We were like synchronized in terms of our dresses and the colors and stuff like that. I don't know how, because we didn't plan it. The wedding was beautiful. I didn't film too much of the wedding because I came as a guest. I didn't know the bride or the groom. I was kind of going with my family who knew the bride and the groom, and so I didn't want to sort of like intrude too much on their privacy, especially being like an outsider. After the wedding, it was the after party, and you know, all you can drink. We ate, we drank, we danced. Well, it was super nice. We had so much fun. One of the things that I really loved about Texas too is, one, like everybody speaks Spanish, so I need to learn myself some Spanish. But also, they give tacos out at the drive-thru, like real corn tacos with beef and chicken and pork. They have all the options that you want. They give you salsa, onions, chopped onions, cooked onions, raw onions. You know how you drive through McDonald's? Imagine that, but tacos. So good. Another thing that we did was go to the beach. So there's an island. I'm gonna try to find the name of the island. It's like I wasn't paying attention or something. So there's an island, and we had to drive maybe like an hour, I want to say an hour and a half from McAllen to this island. You go over a bridge, and once you get there, it reminds me very much of Florida if you've already been, but it's very like beachy, and obviously it has its own city and stuff like that. It has its own like condos and all of that stuff, or apartment buildings and shit like that. Like it has all of that. The beach was beautiful. The day was kind of chilly, but the beach was very, very nice. I'm just gonna show you guys because I took a bunch of videos, and it was just very ASMR-y, very relaxed, and that's how I felt at the beach. So I pretty much spent all of our afternoon there. Like the morning we drove there, and then we spent all our afternoon there and came back at night, and I was really happy about that because I wanted to see the beach. I love the beach. I love some seawater. I didn't bring my bathing suit. I did want to though. I had told myself before leaving that I would bring at least one bathing suit in case I went to the beach. I forgot my bathing suit, but either way, the water was pretty chilly by the time that we got to the beach. So I don't think I would have spent all that much time in the water. We just kind of enjoyed the day as a family, and I really, really appreciate moments like that. I think those are the type of moments where you just find like little glimpses of simple beauty. The next day, unfortunately, it was time for me to go back to Montreal, and I almost cried. I tried to hold back tears so bad. I thought about missing my flight completely and just being like, yeah, I'm not going back. Came back to work. My flight wasn't too bad. Just disappointing. Just wish I had more time in Texas. And that's the one thing that I would change when I go back. I think I'm definitely gonna take more time off. But anyway, that's all for Texas. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and there's going to be many more to come. I'm just getting started on this whole YouTube thing, but I'm excited. I don't know if it's gonna take me anywhere, but I enjoy editing videos. I enjoy like talking like this, I guess. It's a good way for me to just like get thoughts out of my head somewhere else. I gotta go. Like, subscribe, share if you want to. Love you guys, and bye.